What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Icing Up Gaming, and today we're going to be doing a character guide on the god Olorun. Now, before I get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to keep up with any future content or watch me live on Twitch. I'll be leaving those links in the description below. Now, since magical ADCs are starting to have a huge rise, even with the recent nerfs, I've been seeing a lot more Oloruns, and I want to go ahead and make a guide on him. Because this character is easy, but it's very easy to mess up on his build and what you're supposed to be doing as the character. So I wanted to go ahead and help my community out and get a good guide on him. So before we get into his best items, let's go ahead and go over his passive and abilities. Alright, so for Olorun's passive, it's known as Touch of Fate. Upon reaching 150 magical power from items, Olorun gains 15% critical hit chance and a further 1% per magical power from items. Olorun's critical hits only deal 60% increased damage, and additionally, Olorun's basic attack scale with an extra 5%. And the max crit chance he can have is 70%, so you're not going to be seeing his character crit every single basic, but when he does crit, it's going to hurt. This basically just means he is an ADC. He's built to be an ADC, so you're going to be building rings on this character, but I'll go ahead and get to that later. So for Olorun's first ability, it's known as Focus Light. Olorun charges an orb of pure energy for up to 2 seconds before firing it in front of him. The longer he charges, the farther the projectile goes, passing through and damaging enemy minions, but stopping on colliding with enemy gods. This ability can critical hit and provide stacks of overflowing divinity, which we'll get to in a moment. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. As you can see, the longer I charge it, the farther it'll travel. I miss because I'm bad. But one thing to note is that this ability will not do extra damage if you charge it. So if you're just in the scramble, or you're chasing somebody, you just want to hit them, just immediately cast the ability. You don't need to worry. It'll always do max damage no matter how much you charge it. Alright. So, for Olorun's second ability, it's known as Overflowing Divinity. Now, there's a lot to go over with this. So, Olorun gains amplified attack speed. Every successful attack on an enemy during the buff provides his inner sun with energy to a cap of 20 stacks. During the buff, or for 4 seconds after, Olorun can refire this ability to conjure the sun to damage enemies in an area. Sun emits projectiles faster and more randomly with higher ammo. Hitting the same enemy deals 30% less damage each time to a minimum of 90% reduction. So, you'll gain an extra 40% attack speed flat, so you don't need to worry about upgrading this ability to get more attack speed. However, upgrading this ability does make the duration for the ability last longer, so you can build your inner sun a little bit longer, from 4 seconds to 6 seconds, and the damage does increase from 90 to 120. Buff, see a little sun above your head, and you see that little gauge in the bottom left, how that is increasing. So then when you cast it again, you get a second attack. Pretty straightforward. Up next, we have his third ability. This is his Get Off Me tool and his healing ability. The Olorun expends the light within himself, knocking back and damaging any nearby enemies, as well as slowing them for 2 seconds. Olorun allies are bathed in light, gaining a heal over time that ticks every second for 5 seconds. For every ally healed, Olorun gains physical and magical protection. So, to me, this isn't really that strong. However, it can get the job done considering with this big AoE around him. As you can see, it actually does slow enemy gods by 30%. So it's a pretty decent slow. So most of the time, you're going to be getting this and maybe like a sprint if you're trying to get away, other than like an Aegis over like an Aegis. Most of the time, you're going to be getting beats anyway. And then finally, we have the move that makes Olorun Olorun, and that is his ultimate, Sanctified Field. Olorun brings forth Olodumare. I got confused by one. And Olofi, who travel out. How do you even say that? Okay, creating a large area of divine energy that distorts the flow of time within. All enemies caught in the area are negatively affected by the time dilation, attacking, casting, and even animating more slowly. Olorun himself benefits from the Sanctified Field in a similar way. The strength of the Divine Field also impacts the effects of buffs and debuffs, projectiles, and deployables. Basically, what that means is that everything inside of his ult will slow down. However, your team and yourself are going to be getting faster, 30% faster, as a matter of fact. So, this is a really good tool to be using to dive towers, but we'll get into that in a moment. So, this is a really big move. Really big move. And you can see he is slowed by a significant amount, and you get a significant amount of attack speed. So that's a very good team fighting ult, tower diving ult, an engage ult, basically everything you want in a single ult, and it's right here. And the only thing that really counts that is beads, but then you leave yourself open to other characters. So this is a really strong ult. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over his best items. Now, obviously with the new item changes, Ring of Hecate is going to be one of his best items. It gives 80 magical power, 30% attack speed, and 20% magical lifesteal. And every single attack, basic attack applies hex to enemies and empowers you. Enemies receive a 5% decreased power per stack, while you receive 5% increased power. And both these effects stack up to 3 times. So basically, you'll get an extra 15% increased power for every basic attack, while the enemy gets a 15% power decrease by 15%. Very, very strong. Another really strong item that you're going to want to build, this is not up for debate, is Telkine's Ring. It's 100 power, it gives 25% attack speed, and it increases your basic attack damage by a percentage of your magical power. So that's really, really strong. Also, now for me, I would recommend building a Bancrofts, especially with the Ring of Hecate nerf. It lost a lot of its survivability, so grabbing a Bancrofts is always really nice. I'm also a really big advocate for, if you're playing a mage, no matter who the mage is, building a Chronos Pendant is very, very useful, especially since you want his ult up as much as possible. Also, I'd recommend building a Hootie and or a Doom Orb. Both of these work really well. I would personally recommend Doom Orb for the extra movement speed, since this is a stationary mage. And then for Pen, I would recommend getting Spear of the Magus. This card change, even though it got nerfed in the recent patch, whenever you damage an enemy god with an ability, you mark them for 7.5 seconds. So basically, and they take 7.5, well, not 7.5. Whenever you hit an enemy, they take 7.5 additional damage from all sources, and this lasts for 10 seconds. Sorry. Basically, if they get hit with either your 1, your 3, or your 2, you are going to be hitting them exponentially harder. For your Pen, Demonic Grip is always really nice. Charon's Coin I've seen people build, and even Spear of Desolation, since it does give pen and cooldown. So that's really up to you. However, you're going to be building mostly rings in these situations. Also, now this is just me. If you do ult, if you're ulting to protect yourself and you're looking for a little bit more defensive items to help you survive a little longer with your attack items, I would recommend building a Predwin. So reason being is because once you ult, you'll get that health shield, and you'll live significantly longer. Plus, it gives 20% cooldown, so that's always really. So, as far as Olorun's game plan goes, it's really simple. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be engaging with your second ability already popped. You want this popped as soon as possible so you can go ahead and stack your Inner Sun, right? And so once you do that, right, basic, and just kill, and that's it. Use your first ability as a way to confirm kills, because this move does go really far, so save this ability. Unless you're clearing, save this ability. Also, what you're going to be doing is that you're going to be keeping your distance as much as possible. Save your heal for when a tank or somebody else starts to try to dive you to get them off. Or you can even pop this and then pop your ult, and they're stuck in the air for significantly longer. Also, don't be selfish with your ult. Yes, you can ult to help you secure a kill, but use it mostly for team fights. Also, you can, like I said earlier, you can use this ult to tower dive and make the tower shots slower. It's basically a free Emperor's Armor. And speaking of Emperor's Armor, if you want to troll, I would not recommend building this. But if you want to troll, Emperor's Armor does stack with your ultimate ability. So basically, the tower will stop shooting you if you ult with this equipped. So just something to keep in mind. So, as far as your leveling path and the laning phase, at level 1, you're going to be getting your first ability. This is extremely safe. It goes extremely far, and it's your best clear move since it hits all the minions. Just be careful, because if you use this ability while somebody's in the middle of the wave, it'll stop your clear short. Really careful with that. Since you are an ADC, you're going to be building Hunter's Blessing first. Now, with the new past with the new card Ring of Hecate, how it works now. I would recommend starting with Ring of Hecate. If you want more survivability, which is more power, I would go Bancroft's. But Ring of Hecate is really just too strong right now, even with the nerfs of them taking away the healing. Pairing this with Bancroft's and Telkines and the 20% lifesteal is just really strong. But as you level, obviously, you're going to get every single ability, right? And while you're leveling, you're going to be focusing on leveling your 1 first. This is your main clear and a lot of source of your damage. So be sure to upgrade this ability all the way. This is not one of those characters where you want to level up your ultimate passively and get these abilities up first, because as you can see, the cooldowns on this at level 1 is 140 seconds. You want this lowered as much as possible so you have your ult ready when the team fights come along. So level your ultimate as normal. After you level up your first ability, you're going to be leveling up either your second ability or your third ability. This is really up to you. Your healing does increase and your protections does increase. However, the slow does not increase. And building this helps you get your Inner Sun passive stacked faster, so you can get that more DPS out. So literally, it's really just up to you. However, you are going to be leveling up your first ability first. As far as the landing phase goes, it's pretty self-explanatory. Use your first ability on the wave. Pop your 2. Hit the wave. And then use this sparingly. You don't always have to use your second ability on the wave. I recommend it if you are getting out cleared. However, most of the time you're really not going to be because of how strong his first ability is. And that's basically all for Olorun. Olorun is actually a really simple god. The biggest thing with this character is that you need to learn how to position yourself well, considering the fact that this character has no run moves. And learning when to use your ult, how to use your ult is very, very important. For example, if you're going to be fighting in team fights, using this as the you've had those situations before where you're kind of just standing off. This is a really great initiating tool. Just be careful where you place it. You want to be placing your ult on the person that's going to be causing the most headaches. And that doesn't always necessarily mean the enemy damage dealer. Sometimes that does mean the tank. However, be sure that if you use it on somebody who's tankier, to be absolutely sure that the person who is going to be trying to kill you is not going to kill you first before you get the chance. Also, let me go ahead and show you how his ult power. He shoots at regular speed. As you can see, the tower does slow down with his tower shots. So use this ult in creative ways. This guy is really strong. His mid to late game potential is amazing. His early game does suffer a little bit because he does have to get Ring of Hecate and a couple other cards to really get online. However, with the new Ring of Hecate, he's a lot stronger. Anyway, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to see any other guides or have any recommendations for my next character guide, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and I'll catch y'all next time.